One of my members just got paid $2,380 to deliver 10 intros for a recruitment agency. Today, I'm showing you exactly how to deliver on these deals so you can start charging plus $3,000 for a handful of intros. And the reason I'm sharing this is because delivery is the hardest part that most beginners and freelancers struggle with. You can close deals all day, but if you can't deliver, you're done. I see way too many people undercharging because they're not confident in their delivery system. That ends today. But first, let me explain why recruitment agencies are one of the easiest niches to deliver for and why they are willing to pay plus $3,000 for a handful of intros. So the first reason is their revenue structure, okay? If you guys don't know, recruitment agencies typically make 15 to 25% of a candidate's first year salary as their fee. So for a 100K position, let's say they are placing AI engineers or AI developers, well, they're making 15 to 25K from a single placement, okay? So when we do a little bit of math, we see that it's a no-brainer for them because if they pay you $3,000 for 10 intros and just one of those turns into a placement for a 100K plus role, well, they're making 15 to 25K minus your $3,000. Well, that's like 400 to 700% ROI, return on investment, from one successful intro. This is a diagram that explains this. So for example, we have a 100K salary, 20K agency fee, 3K for your costs. Well, now they're making 17K profits, okay? The third reason is they have a sales-focused mindset. The reason why I love working with recruitment agencies, in fact, my first deal was a recruitment agency and I've made like 15K in 28 days just from recruitment agencies back then, is that they already understand sales. They know the value of a good lead. They're not asking whether your service works or not. They just want to know if you can deliver qualified candidates they can't find themselves. Now, these are the three main reasons why recruitment agencies are such a good niche to go for, especially if you are a beginner. Now, let me just go ahead and walk you guys through the post so we can read his post so everyone can get inspired. So let me just go to wins. Where is the win? This is the one. So just closed a recruitment agency in the UK with 10 meetings for $2,380, 50% upfront, no time frame. I'm going to explain to you guys the no time frame and what he actually means. Thanks everybody, this shit works. That's one of the most straightforward posts that I've read. And check my comment here. Thanks everybody, this shit works. Straightforward, understandable. Have a great day. And this is the Stripe payment. We all love the Stripe payment, and everyone here is just saying congratulations. So if you guys noticed here, we see no time frame. Now let me explain why the no time frame in the recruitment space actually works. See, our member didn't promise a specific time frame, since most of them understand that quality candidates can't be rushed. They'd rather get 10 perfect matches over 90 days than 10 average matches in 30 days because in their space, quality always trumps quantity. So now that you understand why it's easy to deliver, well, let me explain why it is also easy to land a deal with them, okay? So essentially, we have three things. It's a low technical barrier, I'm gonna explain this, and they have a clear success metrics, and there's also universal need, okay? So low technical barrier, Saad, what does that mean? Well, what it means is that you don't need to be a genius to deliver for recruitment agencies, okay? See, now that you are watching this, maybe you're a beginner, maybe you're a developer. Actually, a lot of people that are watching me, they are developers. Love you guys to death, and I also love freelancers, okay? So no one can get pissed, all right? I love you guys all. So the reason why it's easy is because you don't need to be a genius to deliver for recruitment agencies. You're not writing code, okay? Although writing code is a big W. And also, you're not creating designs or building crazy systems. You're simply connecting qualified people to opportunities, something anyone can learn to do, right? The second thing is they have a clear success metric. So with recruitment, it's so interesting. The win is crystal clear. Like, the only question is, did the candidate show up to the meeting or not? That's literally it. The third reason is there's universal need. Like, every recruitment agency on the planet needs the same thing. They need qualified candidates who aren't applying to job boards, okay? So this problem is never going away and is the same across markets, okay? So now that you understand the value of recruitment agencies, well, let me explain to you how to deliver these intros, okay? So let's say you close a deal with a recruitment agency. Well, typically you need to send them an onboarding form. I'm gonna walk you guys through like what is an onboarding form for. This is an example. So this is an example of an onboarding form, okay? So it has a bunch of questions that you want to ask them, okay? So let's say they pay you, you receive that beautiful Stripe notification. Well, you want to get on a call with them. It's called the kickoff call or the onboarding call. We essentially just share credentials, talk about the project, talk about how you're going to deliver these meetings, etc., these intros. And this questionnaire, it has a bunch of questions such as their general business information, website URL, the email, the offer and target audience, the benefits of the offer, what sets them apart from their competitors, etc. So these are all questions that they have to answer. That way you have all the information that you need so you can actually find these companies hiring, okay? Well, since we are delivering for a recruitment agency, well, the only thing we have to do is just find companies that are hiring for those exact candidates that they have, because a recruitment agency provides candidates, okay? And those candidates, right, need to be placed in front of companies hiring, okay? So let me give you an example just so it's so simple for you. So I am a company, okay? Let's say I'm an AI startup, okay? I'm building a product. Well, in order for me to build a good product, well, I need the best team, okay? So I need to outsource that team, okay? So I'm gonna post a job on LinkedIn, Well-Found, on Indeed, looking for a candidates, which can be like an AI developer, AI engineer, or like a developer in general. And then these recruitment agencies are going to come, right? And then give me a list of their candidates. And obviously they're going to be vetted, etc. And then that's it. I'll just pick one. And then for them, they place the candidate in my company. And now I have a AI engineer or an AI developer. So this is how it works. This is basically the supply and demand between recruitment agencies and companies hiring. Okay, so now how do we find these companies hiring? Well, there are multiple ways. I'm going to show you guys a couple methods, very easy methods to find these companies hiring. We're going to scrape them, okay? The platform that we're going to be using is going to be LinkedIn Jobs. And I'm going to show you guys an example. I'm going to go to LinkedIn Jobs. You're going to go to linkedin.com/jobs. Okay. And then we're going to pick an example of, let's say, let's type in AI engineer in the United States. Okay. So we have all of these. Okay. I'm going to go to all filters. You can filter by whatever you want. Okay. So let's go past month. There we go. So these are all companies hiring for an AI engineer. As you guys can see, better.ai. So this is probably an AI startup. So it's a leading global service, professional service company that specializes in providing AI strategy. Yeah. NLP. Yeah, NLP. Okay. Computer vision. Yeah, it's an AI startup. Awesome. So this company is hiring along with all of these companies. Well, how can we scrape them? Well, the simple, most straightforward way to scrape these job postings from these companies hiring is going to be Apify. So Apify essentially is just like a marketplace where you can find tools. They're called scrapers that help you gather data and extract data from platforms like LinkedIn, Indeed, Well-Found. You can even scrape Amazon, you can scrape TikTok, Google Maps, Instagram, anything that you want. So simply you're just going to type in the name of the scraper that you want. And I'm simply going to type in LinkedIn Jobs. So there are multiple scrapers here. So I'm just going to use the advanced one, for example. I'm going to click on try for free. And I'm going to copy this URL. And you guys will see that I have a placeholder where I can put the URL. This is the job search URL. So paste this here. So for example, I'm just going to scrape 1,000 records. Make sure to go to the proxy and make sure it's always residential. And if you guys notice, there's a long string of JSON. Just delete it and you're going to have to fill it with your session cookie. So essentially, what is a session cookie, Saad? A session cookie is basically like an ID, okay, that gets, that has your finger points, okay? And usually whenever you log into any platform that requires your login details, such as LinkedIn, you have a session cookie. It's kind of like your ID. Now, these scrapers, the way it works, the way they usually work is that they use your session cookie, which is your ID, to log in into your account and scrape the data here for you. Now, in order for us to do this, we need an extension. It's called Edit This Cookie. So it's free. If you go to Chrome, I'm just using Brave, so I already have it here. So once you download it, you want to go back to LinkedIn and then go to their extensions, edit this cookie, and click on Extract. So now you successfully extracted your session cookie. So go back to the advanced and basically just paste this here. Okay, you're going to go to Run Options. Make sure in the Run Options, it's always no timeout, and click on Rent Actor, Rent. And then I'm going to go ahead and basically save and start. Save and start. Now, what's going to happen is that the scraper is going to use my session cookie. And then, there we go, like LinkedIn account, Saad, okay? And then scraped jobs. So it's going to go ahead and crawl this page and it's going to scroll down, get all the data that I want. So check this out. If you go to the output, we will see that we have a bunch of things. Company name. This is the better AI that we saw. This is the standardized title, artificial intelligence engineer, etc. We're just going to wait a little bit until we gather 1,000 because we are at 68 right now. So once that's done, I'm going to get back to you guys. All right, we just finished scraping. As you guys can see, 1,000 results. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go to make.com. You can use make.com or NA10. These are just tools. So I'm simply going to use make.com. Make.com is basically like a no-code tool. It's going to allow me to enrich this data, find the decision maker, and also find their emails, and also pre-draft something called a dream email, which is going to be the email that we're going to be using to connect in our recruitment client with the company's hiring, okay? So we are just a connector. We don't build stuff. We don't create stuff. We just make the intro, which is the beauty of a sales agency. So I'm simply going to click on this plus button. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to retrieve the data from Apify and Make so I can do whatever I want with it. So I'm going to look for Apify in Make. So as you guys can see, if I type in Apify, I will see Apify in Make. I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to get dataset items. Get dataset items just means get the data from Apify in Make. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on this plus button and I need to authenticate my account. So the connection type is always going to be Apify API token. Skip this Apify recommended. Okay. The connection name is going to be whatever name you want. For example, whatever name you want. And then the API token is going to be in your settings. So if you go to settings, you will see an API and integration, default API tokens created on sign up. So once you sign up to Apify, they're going to give you your own API key. You're simply going to click on this copy and paste this in the API token and click on save. There we go. The dataset ID is where the data is. And since I want to retrieve it from Apify and Make, it's going to be hard-coded in the last run. So I'm going to go to runs. And this is the last run, and I'm going to go to storage, and in the storage, I'm going to see dataset ID so I can copy it. And then I'm going to simply paste it here. Data transformation is always going to be clean, format JSON. The limit is how many records you want to retrieve. For example, if I go to run, output, if I want to retrieve 1,000, I can just simply put 1,000. If I want to put 10, I can get just 10. If I put 1, I just get 1. If I leave this empty, I'm going to get the entire data set, which is basically 1,000. Now, if you see this offset, this is what most people don't understand. So offset just means skip. So if I put 1 here and I offset 1, that means I'm going to skip the first one, go straight to the second one. So numbers of items to skip. Now, I'm going to go to limit, just put 1 and save. And if I run once, I'm simply going to get the data in Make, okay? I'm going to get, this is the company that we have, the company LinkedIn URL, a bunch of data, simply the same thing here that we have in the output and this table in Make. I'm going to name this get data. And then step 2 is I need to find a decision maker within that company, okay? So I'm going to click on this plus button. And what is the most straightforward way to find someone on the internet? Well, simply just Googling them, right? So I'm going to go and just copy this better AI CEO. So this is the guy. Well, now how can we automate this? Well, we can use an API is going to allow us to do this, which is called the Google Search API. Saad, how do we get the Google Search API? Well, simply go to search Google. I'm going to leave you guys all the resource and the blueprint. But if you go here, this is the real-time Google Search API for authentic SRP data. Now, just ignore this long, nerdy title. What it means essentially is the same thing that we've done here. We've Googled Better AI CEO. We're going to use their own endpoint to do the same thing, just automated and via API. So I'm going to go to Open Playground. And you guys will see that we have the request get method. So essentially, they give you like an example URL, which is query Nike. So if I copy this Nike, paste it here, I did the same thing. Okay, so now I need a specific URL to get the founder because I will have to put, just like I did manually, Better AI plus CEO. So I have already a search URL ready, which I'm going to leave also in the blueprint, which is this one, founder name Rapid API. So I'm going to copy this, Control C, and I'm going to go to make, and I'm going to click on this plus button. I'm going to go to HTTP, make a request, and I'm going to basically call this API. Now I need to double check if it's the right one. So Rapid API Google Search, okay, that's not the right one. They actually changed it. So let me just copy this first URL, go to .com and paste this here. Okay, now the company name is obviously going to be the company name, which is going to be company name. The method is going to be gets because the method is specifically request curl gets. Now the header is going to be in headers, so I'm just going to copy this, go back to headers, paste this here. And before I proceed, I need to actually put myself here so you guys can see everything because it's super annoying when you guys can't see anything. I'm going to go to value, and this is the value. Control C. Paste this here. And again, let me just close these brackets. And then simply paste in your API key here. This is your own API key. When you go to a Rapid API and sign up, they're going to give you your own one. Paste this here. Make sure to parse the response and then save. Now, let me just run once. I'm going to see if I'm going to get the exact founder. Okay, so, or the decision maker. So let me go to results. So this is the guy. It's also the founder, I believe. Yeah, co-founder and CTO. Okay, so that's great. So the co-founder or the founder, basically both are valid. Okay, so now I have the decision maker within the company so I can contact them. Well, now I'm gonna name this get decision maker. If you guys noticed here that I have the URL, also have the title, and like I want to just get the first and last name. So I'm simply going to use AI to handle all of this. So I'm going to click and find OpenAI Azure. Now I'm just using Azure. You can use any AI model that you want. Again, you do not need to be married to Azure or OpenAI or Claude. All are the same. I'm going to go GPT-4o, go add message, user. Content is going to be text, and I already have a prompt for this. It's going to be in the figure prompts. I'm going to leave this too, so don't worry about it. So we can just copy it directly from the blueprint. So this is the one, clean names. Paste this here. Okay, and then that's it. And then since the data is going to be JSON, I want to parse the JSON. So JSON, parse JSON. Okay, I'm going to increase the token limit here so I don't get any errors with the JSON. So I'm going to put, for example, 750, not that much. And then I'm going to map the results as text response. Now I can just run once, but Make is going to yell at me. I'm going to ignore the warnings. And then, okay, so let's see. Let's see. Is the data correct? Let's see. Go to results. URL. Okay, that was not the correct one. So let me just run once again. Okay, now I have it. So this is the guy. Okay, sweet. So was it actually the guy? Yeah, CTO. Okay, co-founder is CTO. Okay, so this is going to be clean name. and it's going to be parse JSON. Let me just save this. Online. Well, now I have the name of the decision maker. I also have the company name. Well, I can just find their email directly. Okay, so there's multiple ways to find their emails. I have my own email enrichment platform, which is basically a platform that I built specifically for people in the community, right? And the reason why I built this is because I've noticed that most people want to do the work, but these platforms that find emails for you are super damn expensive. Like think $400 or $500 a month. So I was like, okay, how can I make sure people can actually do the work without thinking about platform costs? And what I've done is I just built my own. Just to give you guys some context, I was not the one who actually built it. The one who built it is actually my business partner is called Sammy. Okay, he was the actual developer. Super smart guy. Love him to death. Okay, and if you guys notice, we have this new thing, which is basically a tutorial. And fun fact, this is a member who actually recorded this.
Welcome to Nuita's Make.com email verifier setup guide. So
this is cool, right? He has this nice voice of the actual person who gives tutorials, right? Now, I can't really use this because you guys don't have it. Since you guys are watching this, you don't have access to the SaaS. So I'm going to show you guys another way. We can use a platform called Hunter.io. Now, I already have an account, but let me show you guys how to sign up. Hopefully, they don't block me because they don't allow you to just keep creating free accounts. So I'm going to get started for free and sign up. Hopefully, they don't block me. If they do block me, okay, I need a phone number. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I need to sign in with LinkedIn. So I'm just going to sign in with LinkedIn. So the way they do this is they make it super hard for you to make free accounts or free trial accounts. But I want to show you guys how to do it. So let me just see. Yeah. They are not allowing me to do it, but who cares? I'm simply gonna go and incognito, go to hunter.io, get started for free, and then let me just go back to Hunter, and then you're gonna go to API, and then copy your API key, and then you're gonna click on this plus button, look for Hunter, find an email, and then click on this add button and paste this here. So I'm going to go to search by company, and the company is the company that I already have, and the full name is the result. Let's run once. Okay, so we have an issue with the JSON. Okay, so we need to exclude. All right, so we need to give an extra prompt here. Exclude from the end result. Okay, let's see. So we found the email of that person. Okay, sweet. So, okay, this is going to be find email. All right, so now we basically have the email, the person's first and last name. Well, what do we do after that? Well, we need to pre-draft the copy. Now, I'm going to show you guys what are the best copies to use. So I'm just going to go to tools, set variable. I'm going to name this dream email. And then an example email is gonna be just like this. So hey, so I'm gonna do hey, first name. Noticed you're hiring for a senior ML engineer. I'm connected with X company, which is gonna be the recruitment company. They have vetted candidates ready for you, no costs unless you hire. Worth the intro? Best. So let's just save this and see. So check this out. So, hey, Arsalan, noticed you're hiring for a senior ML engineer. I'm connected with the X company. They have vetted candidates ready for you, no costs unless you hire. Okay, so let me just fix this. and then suite. So now the last step is just plugging this into a cold email software is going to allow me to just reach out to these companies and connect them with my client, which is going to be a recruitment agency at scale. So I'm going to click on this plus button, go to instantly, and it's going to be my cold email software. I'm going to go to instantly. Okay, I'm going to log in, and then let me just close this tab here. And then I'm going to verify I am human. I'm going to log in. I'm going to show you guys how to authenticate. So go to settings and then go to integrations. Go to API keys. It's going to be version 1. Copy it. And then click on this add. Paste your API key here and save. Now I'm going to go and create a new campaign. I'm just going to name this demo recruitment. Continue. Okay. Now I'm going to get access to its end make. So demo recruitment. The lead's email is going to be the found email. The first name is first name, last name. Company name is company name. And the personalization is the dream email. Now, if I run once, I can go to my demo recruitment. I'm going to see my lead. And then if I simply just put personalization, I'm going to see that I added my copy. Now, I need to add a new line here and save. In terms of the subject line, we can add first name, intro for company name, Arslan intro for better AI. Okay, so let's just run this, for example, at 5 records. This is just a free account on Hunter. There we go. We forgot to add a filter here. Yeah, we need to add a filter. This is why we have an error. So email exists. Email found. Okay, let's just do it again. And everything is good. I'm going to add sent from my iPhone and save. Okay, so this is how you fulfill for a recruitment client. Before we wrap up, I want to share something special with you guys. It's called the first client reward. And the philosophy behind it is that I found that the biggest hurdle in this business is not actually closing the deals, but actually delivering for those deals, which is the reason why you see me record these videos, because I personally help members with their first client delivery. Because when someone lands their first client, I think it's pretty lame to just say congratulations and then just call it a day. I think the best way is just to go into the trenches with them, show them how to actually deliver. That way they can scale. And what I've noticed across most of the members that actually deliver for their first client is that they go through this big internal shift and they get this crazy confidence. And they usually go from, can I really do this, to how many clients can I handle? Okay, so that was just me waxing poetic. Now you know how to deliver. The only thing that you have to do is simply just get out there, take action. I believe in you, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.